Good morning. I'm Randy Lewis.
And I'm Nicole Kirk, and welcome to All Souls on this glorious, beautiful day. A little crisp, but you're here. You made it. Some of you still have your coats on. It is such a great day to welcome our special guest this morning, Chaplain Devin Moss. You've been hearing us talk about him, a humanist chaplain, a Webby award-winning storyteller who explores what it means to be human, blending curiosity, street philosophy, and practical compassion. In 2015, he created the Adventures of Memento Mori podcast, a project shaped by a deep reflection on impermanence. I have to say that Chaplain Moss we first met in a class I was teaching at Meadville Lombard. Chaplain Moss is a graduate of Meadville Lombard Theological School, where I'm a professor, and it is a great joy to welcome him in our pulpit this morning. Let's welcome Chaplain Moss.
And welcome to our online viewers and everywhere members watching from all over the world. We're so glad that you've joined us today. Now, if you're on Facebook or Zoom, please drop your prayer requests, joys, and concerns in the chat so that in a moment we can hold space and light a candle for you here in the sanctuary.
Are you a first-time visitor here at All Souls? If so, please raise your hand because we have a gift for you. As our ushers come down the aisles, if you have that hand up and keep it up so that you can see it, they'll bring that gift to you. We have some folks on the right side. Welcome to All Souls. And after the service, for first-time visitors or those who are also newish, we invite you to Sonen Library, back through the sanctuary doors, across the foyer. Sonen Library, there'll be a greeter there to welcome and answer any questions you may have.
Yes, now I invite you to stand as you're able for our invocation and covenant. This is indeed a day that God has made. Let us then rejoice in it and be glad. Let us count our many blessings. Let us be grateful for the capacity to see, feel, hear, and understand. Let us be grateful for the incredible gift of life. And let us be especially grateful for the ties of love that bind us together, giving dignity, meaning, worth, and joy to all our days.
Let us join together in saying our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Welcome to All Souls, where we love beyond belief.
From all that dwell below the sky, let faith and hope with love arise. Let beauty, truth, and good be sung through every land, by every tongue.
Before you take your seat, as our chalice lighter comes forward, please greet your neighbor.
Let's keep that energy going after the service. Wonderful, wonderful. It's my absolute pleasure this morning to introduce our chalice lighter. But before I do that, I should say the chalice is a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. It comes from World War II, and it reminds us of the precious flame of truth and love and freedom. Our chalice lighter this morning is the great Rick Forner, our emeritus director of music here at All Souls, and he has some words to share with us.
We light this chalice for the mercy that saves us.
the music that stirs us, and the life that shapes us, and the covenant that holds us. Let this light be our guide, a promise we make again and again, to listen deeply, to act with compassion, and to keep choosing one another, even in uncertain times. Thank you, Shannon.
This morning, I would like to take you on a journey, an inward journey. And it begins with a flower, a lotus flower. And a lotus flower grows often in still water with its roots sunk deep in the mud. It's a beautiful, fragrant flower that grows on a long stem, a long stalk that grows above the muddy water. And in Buddhism, the lotus flower is a symbol of purity. Purity that every person is able to attain, even while, and maybe because, we are rooted in the muck and mud of this world. This meditation that I'd like to take you on is called loving kindness. How many of you have meditated? Many, many, many. If you haven't, this loving kindness meditation is centuries old and has many variations. To begin with, I would ask you to find a comfortable position, pay attention to your body. Sit up with your feet resting on the floor, or if your feet don't reach the floor, you could sit crisscross applesauce. Make your back tall so that you have plenty of space to breathe, and rest your hands lightly on your knees. Think about pulling your shoulders away from your ears, giving your body plenty of room to breathe. Maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze so that you aren't focused on anything in particular. Take a deep breath and notice where you might be feeling tension in your body. As you exhale, let some of that tension release. Feel your breath coming into your body. Just notice where it goes, what moves when you breathe in, and what moves when you breathe out. When you inhale, send your breath to any tension or uncomfortable parts in your body. Breathe into the places of discomfort and then release the tension as you release your breath. When you breathe in, think in, and as you breathe out, think out. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. Just gently bring it back to your inhale and your exhale. Like an ocean tide, the wave rolling in and out. In and out. Now imagine as you breathe without any effort that you are sitting in the middle of a giant lotus flower. Whatever color you want it to be, it is soft, it is lightly fragrant. It is floating in space. And imagine that just a little bit above your head, right in front of you, is a ball of beautiful light just floating. You can feel its warmth, its comfort. And as you breathe in, the light is coming towards you. It's filling your lungs with the light of loving kindness. As you breathe in that light of loving kindness, imagine that it is filling your body. And as you breathe out, the light remains, but you breathe out any tension, any anger, any conflicts you are feeling, you release. With every breath, your body becomes filled with the light of loving kindness. It fills your chest and your belly. It warms your legs and your thighs, your knees, your shins, your calves, your ankles, moving down into your feet, into each toe. The warm, glowing light that relaxes you fills you with ease, and the light moves into your shoulders and your arms, down your elbows and your forearms, into your wrists and your hands, and into each finger, bringing warmth and ease to your body. And the light moves up your neck, through your jaw, easing away any tension. It moves into your cheeks and your forehead, swirling around inside your skull, behind your eyes, allowing everything to relax. And now your entire body is glowing with this light of loving kindness. It is radiating from you as you are cradled by this lotus flower floating in space. And now, imagine that as you breathe out, you are also breathing out the light of loving kindness. So as you breathe the light of loving kindness in from this eternal ball of light above your head, constantly filling your body with it, you are exhaling loving kindness into the world. And the light of loving kindness is spreading from you and wrapping itself around people you know and love, people in your life who you care about. The light is filling them with loving kindness. And your loving kindness is spreading to people who you don't even know. Imagine all the people in our church being surrounded and filled with this light of loving kindness. And as you breathe in and out, every exhalation is surrounding the people you know and the people you don't know, and even people you may be having trouble with, or that you may be in conflict with. Let the light of loving kindness surround them too. Imagine it. You on your lotus flower floating in space, filled with loving kindness, spreading the light of loving kindness out into the world and to all of the beings on our planet so that they can feel the light of loving kindness too. Imagine the whole earth, which is below you, and send out the light of loving kindness so that it wraps its way all the way around the globe, filling the world with loving kindness. Keep breathing in and out until you can imagine that the entire world is wrapped in loving kindness as if it is the air that everyone is breathing, so that all beings feel peace, all beings feel love, all beings feel the kindness within them and around them. As you are cradled by your lotus flower, clearly see that ball of loving kindness that is above your head and imagine it getting smaller. It is not diminishing. It is just pulling into itself. It is getting smaller and smaller until it is the size of a ping pong ball, and eventually the size of a marble. And now imagine in your heart there is a small, clear box. Open that box and place that little ball of light inside. The light of loving kindness. Imagine gently closing that box and keeping it in your heart to open up whenever you need it. It is there anytime you want it. That ball of loving kindness is right there. You can do this meditation. Imagine yourself on the lotus flower floating in space. Bringing that ball of light out from the box in your heart and placing it above your head and breathing in and filling yourself with the light and breathing out and spreading loving kindness throughout the world. This is something you can have with you to do anytime for the rest of your life. It's always there. And now slowly, as you are ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Open your eyes and come back to this place and to this time. Thank you for joining me on this loving kindness journey. I invite our children and youth to come to Sunday school where we can talk about what this meditation felt like and how we can bring more loving kindness into our lives.
Breathing beautiful, loving kindness. Taking that, receiving the loving kindness that you have breathed into this space, that we have shared in this space, taking that loving kindness and holding those who are in our community who are experiencing dark days and challenges. Today we offer heartfelt condolences to Susan Swadek and family in the loss of her husband, Tom Swadek, who passed away last Sunday. We light a candle and offer condolences to the family and friends of member Jim Thomas, who passed away on Tuesday. Thinking about them both. Today we light a candle for those in our community recovering from illness, in hospital or on hospice or facing new or continued health challenges. We light a candle for World's AIDS Day tomorrow. Those who are still suffering with that disease, the effects of that disease. And a candle for this first Sunday of Advent. And hope, it's its theme, is a steady companion that walks with us toward what can be. I invite you now to name aloud someone you wish to be included in this sacred moment. I light a final candle for all the names spoken and those unspoken but yet remain in our hearts. If you've lost a loved one over the past year, or if this Sunday is the closest to the anniversary of a loved one's passing, I invite you now to stand for a moment of silence. You may be seated. Loving presence, Holy One, bless this community as we lift one another up. We hold all these needs, joys, and sorrows in the circle of our care. Some of us came with gratitude, some with grief, and all of us need a little more kindness, loving kindness to make it through the week. Let our kindness be healing, and our hope carry someone who needs it today. Be with us, walk with us, guide us. Amen, and blessed be.
When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Sing it with me now. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, when I breathe, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, when I breathe, oh, I breathe peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, when I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Would you look to someone near you and tell them, I wish you joy and peace. I wish you joy and peace. It's our pleasure to welcome back to All Souls. She's home, really. Cynthia Simmons Taylor. Would you help me welcome her, please?
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Live as one.
Kentucky Fried Chicken dark meat. Original recipe has this particular Pavlovian deliciousness when it's fresh out of the fryer. Crispy, tender with that secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. Though it's really the salt and pepper that hits your palate first. Once the king and queen of spice do their thing, that parade of ingredients reveals itself in waves. Paprika's warmth, garlic's bite, something almost sweet dancing underneath. Until your teeth break through that crackling crust into the dark meat itself. Fatty and tender, juicy enough to make you almost forget where you are. Fried chicken was pretty much all Phil talked about for the last hour on our final visit. So much so that my mouth was watering too. I'm sure Sue Hosh, a steadfast friend of Phil, her mouth was watering too. Phil had even joked that it would be better if Governor Stitt would wait until after he ate all that chicken before he would give him a full pardon. A free man with a belly full of KFC paid by the state of Oklahoma. A gallows dream masquerading as hope in his waning hours. It wasn't until the next morning that I learned that Phil didn't get that large bucket of KFC dark meat original recipe. Instead, they gave him a 10-piece chicken tender, soggy on the outside, dry white meat in the inside, served with 2 sides of indifference and neglect. I know all this because I was Philip Dean Hancock's chaplain, his spiritual care advisor that stood by his side in the execution chamber on November 30th, 2023. At 11:29 a.m., Phil was pronounced dead by means of lethal injection as ordered by the state of Oklahoma. Today marks the 2-year anniversary of Phil's death. Over these past 730 days, I've thought a lot about Phil, his family, our society, and the lives of those 2 men that he killed. I've thought a lot about humanity, what we owe to each other, nature versus nurture. I've thought about vengeance and what it means to get even, to settle the score, justice. And I've thought a lot about fried chicken, at least in the first couple months after the execution. You see, when talking about my experiences with others, the last meal is what triggered me the most. The thing that would get me the angriest, the thing that would make me cry the quickest. But why? A commentator in one of the articles written about the event posed the question more specifically. He was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to death in accordance with the law. Why should we care if Philip Hancock didn't get the last meal he requested? It's a fair question to ask. And since it was weighing on me so heavily, I went in pursuit of the answer. Why should we care that Phil didn't get that bucket of dark, original recipe dark meat? Against the backdrop of so much tragedy, that question may seem inconsequential, but pulling the thread to get to that answer revealed, for me, a new understanding of something that I thought I was already pretty good at, and that was compassion. And today I'd like to share with you how I've come to know compassion. As Americans, we are taught to love hard things. We worship grit. We celebrate the grind. From an early age, we learn to mythologize the person who wakes up at 4 in the morning, hits the gym, before crushing an 80-hour work week. We turn no pain, no gain into spiritual wisdom. We build entire identities around never giving up, pushing through, doing one more rep when everybody else quits. We excel at the grind. That's not just physical. We've embraced mental and emotional strength too. We clock hours in therapy. We do the work to overcome our histories of trauma. We befriend our nuanced and not so nuanced emotions. We read all the self-help books, listen to all the podcasts, do all the plant medicines, and sound bath our way into a happier version of ourselves. We're committed to healing ourselves, understanding ourselves, improving ourselves. We're excellent at self-work. But when it comes to compassion, when it requires us to show up for someone else's suffering, someone else's pain, someone we've decided doesn't deserve our attention, we take the easy way out. We quit. Or worse, we don't even try. We'll do 1,000 burpees, but can't sit with someone whose suffering makes us uncomfortable. We'll spend years of therapy processing our own emotions, but dismiss someone else's experience. We call chasing achievement a strength and being present to another's humanity a weakness. Compassion is what I like to call America's glass jaw. We pride ourselves on being strong, but hit us with one of the things that actually requires a lot of strength, practicing compassion. People that we decide don't deserve it, people whose suffering doesn't benefit us, our culture crumbles like a day-old biscuit. Now, to be clear, many people in our society are deeply compassionate. They show up, they hold space, they do the hard work of being present with the suffering, and they know exactly what kind of strength that requires. And I'm not saying that physical strength is bad. It's not. Resilience matters, fortitude matters, mental toughness matters, therapy and emotional work matter. Every quality I mentioned, the grind, the discipline, the commitment to healing ourselves, these are good things. I believe in them, and I've dedicated a large portion of my life to them. But balance also matters. And I mean mind, body, spirit balance, because compassion is rooted in the spirit. Yep, I said it, I'm a humanist. As someone that doesn't believe in God, I said spirit, and I believe in spirit. I have come to know spirit as the animating life force that connects you to others, the earth, something bigger than yourself. Your spirit, in my view, has nothing to do with when you die, but has everything to do with how you live. I like to think of it as the tuning fork of life. And like your body and mind, spirit requires cultivation. Neglect it, and the whole system suffers. You become misaligned, imbalanced, living disconnected from the earth, from each other, from a deeper meaning. Spirit is where compassion lives. In your capacity to connect beyond yourself, to recognize meaning beyond your own needs, to be present with something that transcends individuality. And I don't consider this to be a philosophy or a theory, nor do I consider it to be metaphysical or particularly woo-woo. It's the truth that I began to understand during my chaplain residency at Bellevue Hospital at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Bellevue, if you're not familiar, has the historical distinction of being America's oldest continuously operating public hospital. It serves as a safety net for New York's most vulnerable, people who are unhoused, uninsured, mentally ill, and those who society often overlooks. I went in assuming, because it was the pandemic, that my challenge would be to figure out how to sit with so much dying. But in truth, it was sitting with the suffering of the living. That was the hardest to be with. The despondency, the helplessness, the forsakenness. Bellevue also has the distinction of pushing you to your limits and pushing all of your buttons. I was tired most shifts, but on one particular day, I remember being especially exhausted. So I was caught flat-footed when I walked into a new patient's room where this elderly white woman was throwing racial slurs at the nurses. My entrance was a distraction enough for the nurses to escape, and seeing that I was white and she was white, this 85-year-old woman thought that she had found an ally in hate. Within minutes, she proudly identified herself as a Nazi. When she actually said the word Nazi, I felt a strange relief. Finally, I was able to admit to myself the truth. I didn't have to pretend to care. I was exhausted of manufacturing sympathy from witnessing so much suffering. I left the room feeling that I had failed some fundamental test, but then the realization about compassion started to unfold. Here's what I got wrong. I thought compassionate meant being all-forgiving, accepting everybody in the room. And even worse, I thought it meant being nice. I'd always understood compassion the way the dictionary defines it, a feeling that arises when you witness someone else's suffering, followed by an action. The compassion equation was simple. Recognize suffering, feel sympathy, take action. But Mr. Webster had it wrong. That definition is inadequate and, frankly, unscalable. Compassion should not be linked to a sympathetic emotion, particularly in the moment. Because then what do you do if you don't care? What if you're out of duty or out of protection, you just don't care? What if it's out of repulsion or exhaustion? You can't muster sympathy. So then what is compassion? Here's how I came to know it and came to practice it. First, compassion requires you to believe in something. Beliefs require a leap of faith. They ask for your conviction and require your devotion. They forge a connection with something bigger than ourselves and become the scaffolding for life that informs us what to value and how to act. As a humanist, I struggled with this because at the beginning of my journey, I didn't know what to believe in. Not knowing what you believe in, it's a great place to start, but it's not a good place to finish. Devotion to a non-belief is like standing in quicksand. The more you rally against it, the deeper